guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's look I have a special effects tutorial for you guys. It's been such a long time since I've created one. It feels so good to get back into it. So I created this look for a Instagram hashtag which is brushes against bullies. So it's to help create awareness of bullying or abuse no matter what form it takes. And if you guys want to know more about my story or more about the hashtag, then definitely check it out on my Instagram. I've got this post up right now so you can read a little bit about my story and my take on things as well. So that being said, let's get right into the tutorial. So I'm starting by applying a headband to get my hair, or in this case my wig, out of my way. And because I already have makeup on, I've just wiped off the makeup in the areas that we're going to be using the Sculpt Gel. So yes, we are using Sculpt Gel. This gel is a 3-part system, so I'm mixing part A, part B and part C together, but really taking care not to intermix any of those, because if you do, it's gonna like start to firm up and you're gonna wreck your whole Sculpt Gel. So I'm mixing all of those together, and I think it gives you about 10 minutes time to kind of work with it. That's how long it will take to set, so you've got about that much time to try and mold it into the shape you want before it sets quite firm and you can't mold it anymore. So I'm going to be covering my lips entirely with this Sculpt Gel. So if you like, you can tape your lips shut prior, or if you're comfortable just keeping your lips closed, just relaxed and just make sure that they stay closed, then you can just apply it directly onto your lips. But if you're a first timer or, you know, trying out this look, I suggest probably taping them shut first off. Or of course, you don't have to have your mouth closed if you're wearing this to a party or to whatever it may be. If you want to talk and drink and socialize and all that stuff, then you can always do this look without closing your mouth. So I'm basically just applying it in a very big, wide kind of smile, just softly building up the layers of the product. So now, to help me smooth out the edges and help it transition into my skin, I'm just taking a little bit of oil. This is just olive oil, but you can use whatever oil that you have on hand. And I'm just going around the perimeters of that and really helping to shear it down and make it blend almost seamlessly with my skin. So I've wiped off the excess oil on my finger, and basically I'm just kind of tapping certain areas to create a few little peaks and just random kind of texture in the Sculpt Gel. I'm also coating a butter knife. Make sure if you are using a knife or some type of utensil like that, that you take care. Please, ideally use a spatula, but I could not find my spatula. Anyway, I'm coating this in some oil, which is going to help me create some more slices and cuts. Make sure before you do another cut that you wipe off any excess oil and Sculpt Gel on your knife or palette or spatula, that's what I'm trying to say, and then recoat it with some oil before creating another cut. So I'm just doing some random kind of slices. This doesn't hurt. I'm just basically pushing it down till I can feel it on my skin. That's why you just need to be very, very careful and very gentle. Once that has dried, I am going in with my foundation color and just patting that over the top of the Sculpt Gel just to help match it to my own skin color. You can also apply a little bit of powder as well if you want to kind of mattify it down, or if it is looking too shiny. Next, I'm using some cream paints. These are just Ben Nye character wheels. I'm going in with a bright red shade first and basically filling in all of those crevices and those grooves and those textured areas with this bright red. I'm then basically doing the same thing again with a little bit of a darker red color. Not covering the bright red 100%, but just adding a few different areas in there to make the cuts look like they're deeper in some areas. The next step for me is to grab a sponge. You can use a toothbrush, you can use your fingers, you can use anything that has a little bit of texture on it. So I'm basically dipping this in some of the red, some of the dark red, and a little bit of like a plummy color. And I'm just dabbing this all around the outskirts of my wound to create more of a bruised, kind of sore and irritated effect. Of course, you don't have to do this, but this is a great technique if you have struggled to blend out your original prosthetic, or if you're wanting to hide any mistakes or anything like that. This is also a great way to do it. So I'm just using a few different tools just to get some different effects. My sponge, fingertip, makeup brush, and just going backwards and forwards with some different colors until I'm happy with how it's looking. Alright, the next step for me, I'm adding my all-time favorite product, which is Scab Gel. So I'm just adding a little bit of this. It's like a coagulated, oh, I struggle to say that word, coagulated blood. So it's like really thick and like jammy almost. So I'm just applying a little bit of that into like the deepest areas of my cuts. And then I am going in with some fake blood just onto those cut areas as well. I don't want to overload it with too much fake blood, so I'm just, you know, applying a little bit here and there. I've also changed backgrounds, and this makes me look so much paler than my other background. Anyway, I'm just dabbing a little bit of that fake blood on a brush over those areas. I'm wiping off the excess onto my sponge to give it a little bit more texture, and then going back in and dabbing that over. So this is just the fake blood that I'm using to give it a little bit more of a splattered effect. So here you have the finished look. Of course, if you want to step it up a notch, then go in with some eye blood. Now you can't just use any fake blood for your eyes. This needs to be a eye safe blood. There are specific brands or specific products within a brand that will be safe for your eyes. So this is a Kryolan eye blood. It's quite like a thick gel and actually does temporarily tint the whites of your eyes red. It looks pretty cool, but it doesn't last a very long time, but it still looks really cool for photos. Anyway, rainbows, here you have my finished look. It feels so good to be doing some special effects looks again. Oh, I need to start doing more. If you guys have any requests or anything like that, please leave a comment below. And as I said, if you want to know more about my story or my take on bullying and all that jazz, then definitely check out my Instagram. I'll link it down below and you can read up all on that. I love you, rainbows, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
It's just another day you should be spending with me.